My reputation decreased. My booty got grease.
It's election time, which means politicians are every.
Ubisoft closes your account if you.
Oh, that was only a 3-minute video. Okay.
Your account if you haven't logged in for some time.
Listen, bro, I'm not gonna lie to you, bro.
I done fucked your mom, and I fucked your little brother, and I fucked your hot older sister. I'm sorry, brother, man. I didn't mean to do it, but they pussy was so good. It was so juicy. You're their brother. You should know, right? Frog speaking Chinese.
Listen, we are live on Twitch right now. We're live streaming right now. If you're seeing this, we're live, okay? And you can come join us. We could be doing anything under the sun.
Bro, can you put the link, the stream link in the oh, here it is. I'm dumb.
The description below this video and click on the Twitch link, and you can
that on top of the fact that like I don't know. People thought that they were going to like
Ubisoft closes your account if you haven't.
Something, but. Would you surrender in a fight? I think I'd rather just, actually, never mind, I can't say
that. I thought I'd shoot them in the goddamn face.
Never surrender.
With a big fat shotgun.
Never surrender.
I'd rather murder my opponent.
You make a tactical retreat. And then you get somebody bigger and stronger to beat them up.
Yeah, get a hit, man.
While you're scurrying. The war cabinet was actually majority for surrendering. Problem is, the ones that that's what I was saying, that like I'm pretty sure a large portion of like the emperor's cabinet, the people who's like around him, well, like the like council or whatever, war cabinet, they were all like, we should definitely give up, like this shit ain't gonna be working. And then he was like, I'm actually not though, and then they kept going. Because it seems like if they were totally definitely going to surrender and it's going to be like super quick and there's like no problem with them surrendering, I would have expected them to surrender after like the first bomb, but they didn't. I'm not saying that it was good to, but they just didn't surrender. I feel like if they had any opportunity to, it was after the first one.
Actually, not just yet.
So you would be a wuss? You know what? Okay. What are we talking about? Barbie. He didn't want to until there. Yeah, like some people were saying that there was like they offered like a conditional surrender, if I remember correctly. People were like, we definitely shouldn't have done anything because they offered a conditional surrender. And wasn't the conditional surrender like I get to continue being emperor and ruling Japan with the same exact ideals that led me to being in this situation to begin with? And then the allies were like, no, actually, that doesn't work. That's actually not going to be happening. And then he was like, what the fuck? And then like people 60 years later are like, they were totally going to surrender and we shouldn't have done anything. We should have just accepted their surrender request, which I don't believe so. If I'm gonna be honest. I don't know. I think I'm happier being a YouTuber and a shitty streamer than being somebody who has to choose which buttons to press to kill people.
I want to
we were
watch
definitely
the Asmongold Ubisoft video first.
Logged in for some time, you lose all of your games you purchased forever. For added context, Ubisoft can be required under certain data protection laws such as GDPR to close inactive accounts if they deem the data no longer necessary for collection. Ubisoft has claimed they didn't close accounts that are inactive for less than 4 years. Hey there, we just wanted to chime in and that you can avoid the account closure by logging into your account within 30 days since receiving the email picture and selecting cancel account closure link in the email.
Well,
we
everyone,
certainly don't want you to lose access to your games account. If you have any difficulties logging in, then create a support ticket. What? Like, am I missing something here? This is ridiculous. We notice that you have not been using your Ubisoft account associated with the email address. We temporarily suspended your inactive account. I mean, listen, Ubisoft is like Blizzard. People are gonna use any little fucking thing that they can find to shit on this company. But the one question that I do have is that how is it, does Blizzard send out these emails in the US? Or sorry, in the EU? Does Bandai Namco send out these emails? What, so if this is something that is required of these companies, then why do all the companies not do it? Charlie made a video about it. Let me look and see.
I may not be a quantum physicist or anything like that, but I still would like to present to you a theory that I've cooked up here. One that I'm nowhere near qualified enough to speak on with good authority, but one I'm going to present with confidence anyway. I'm going to punch above my weight class to deliver an important truth about our universe that will open your third eye. And trust me, this is going to be a shocking revelation. I believe at some point along our developmental path, we have overlapped with a parallel universe. I will dub our original timeline.
Is this about Ubisoft? Like
the Berenstein Bears timeline, because that's what the books were known as when I was a child. And at some point along our history, our timeline collided with the Berenstain timeline, and the two performed a bit of a fusion dance, an unholy matrimony, and merged together, forming this amalgamation of nightmares we now live in, our new cursed timeline. And one of the effects of the timeline isn't just Berenstein Bears being changed to Berenstain, it's also, seemingly, the fixation every successful company has on self-destruction. I don't know what the fuck is going on, but some of the most successful companies in the world are making the absolute dumbest decisions. It's as if when the timelines collided,
I think also like a lot of the decisions that are made, like what happens also is that people make them out to be way worse than what they are anyway. So like if something bad happens, like there'll be a million people talking about it and making content about it. So it's like a multiplier for like how bad a decision is. I think companies have been doing stupid shit like this all the time.
Leaders of these companies got banished to the doofus dimension and got replaced by an entire fucking circus. All of these clowns now are in charge.
That's good. Damn. Alright.
Bozo are doing the dumbest things ever, sinking their companies. And the most recent example is Ubisoft. Ubisoft just proudly announced that they are actually willing to shut down inactive Ubisoft accounts, which means deleting all of the games you paid for, getting rid of your access to those games. Now, before going into this story in particular, I'll go ahead and preface this by saying this isn't necessarily new, that's not groundbreaking. Steam, for example. If you get banned on Steam, like if you get your Steam account taken away, you lose your games. Basically, when you're buying a digital good on Steam, you're kind of just paying for like the receipt saying that you can play it. Like you're paying for an admission ticket, but you can always get kicked out. You don't. Oh.
Yeah, I think this is a bad thing, by the way. I'm not a fan of this you don't own any of the games that you buy thing. I think this is not good for the customer. Like there's no value for the customer that they don't even own what they're spending money on. Like, I understand that it's legal. I get that it's legal. I just think there should be consumer protection.
Oh, I'm sorry, boo. I ain't seen they're all creeping out. No, you're not turning it off. Ah.
It's for these kinds of things. How does one get banned on Steam? How does it matter?
Own anything, which is why physical media is still a very important thing. But before I really dive in here, I want to thank today's sponsor.
Holy shit, are you playing Watcher of Realms?
I am
Well, tell me about it. I've heard of it.
Jay Schlatt's team. In order, they're temporarily suspending the inactive Ubisoft account and will be permanently closing it in 30 days in accordance to their terms. But if you wish to keep this account, then you've got to click on the link that's in the email below. Now, when I first saw this, I thought it was maybe a bit of baloney here. I didn't know if it was legitimate or maybe this was like some kind of isolated incident or some kind of like fringe outlier where the account must have done something, had violations or something, and now it's been collecting dust. I just thought there was extenuating circumstances. Because like with Steam, you're usually not just getting banned willy-nilly. No one's losing their Steam account for not logging in for like a long period of time, I don't think. At least not that I know of. So this was certainly a first, and it was an eye-opener. Because Ubisoft did confirm this. They went into the replies
That's
and
what's so weird to me about this is like, if this is a law, then why doesn't every other company follow it? You see what I'm saying? It's so confusing.
said this. Hey there. No exclamation point. You make me sick, Ubisoft support. At least show some excitement here. Get some enthusiasm behind the statement. Hey there with just a period? How monotone. I can feel that you don't even want to be in the replies. We just wanted to chime in that you can avoid the account closure by logging into your account within the 30 days since receiving the email pictured and selecting the cancel account closure link contained in the email. We certainly do not want you to lose access to your games or account, so if you have any difficulties logging...
Somebody says it might be a specific French law. Well, I mean, I don't know. I'm not a fucking lawyer, right? I'm not an international lawyer. But it would make sense to me that any business that does business in France would have to follow French law. And also they say it's because of GDPR, which I think is just a European thing. It's not a French specific thing.
in, then please create a support case with us and then linking ubisoft.com/help. So they do confirm that this is a real policy, and if you don't click that cancel account closure link, you're losing your account and you're losing all the games that you have paid for. No negotiation.
I guess Ubisoft saw that Blizzard was stealing all their thunder, and they were getting everybody talking about them by, tricking people into buying their battle passes yesterday. So they were like, well, look, I mean, like, we don't want to get shown up by Blizzard every day. We've got to come in and, like, really show people that Blizzard's not the only clown show. They're not the only circus in town. Hey,
We're the real clowns around here, buddy. It's our block.
Do.
And Ubisoft is shutting the doors and they're taking your toys. And
God,
that's pretty hard. Like, that's kind of aggressive, I would say. So I did a little bit more digging here, and according to this article that I was reading, they do make this policy pretty clear, though it's one that I was unfamiliar with, and I'm guessing a lot of other people were unfamiliar with as well. This article comes from Windows Central and says that on their website, they detail the policy against inactive accounts. Please be reassured that Ubisoft does not automatically close inactive accounts. As part of our terms of use, in rare instances, we may immediately close inactive accounts to comply with local data protection legislation. This is only if we have strong reasons to believe that the account in question will remain unused. I don't know how they would have reasons to believe that an account will be unused unless they...
I feel like it's like if you don't log into it for a certain amount of time.
have like a death certificate of the person who owned the account. Like, you'd never be able to say with a high level of certainty who's never coming back, right? Like, how would they have access to that kind of information? But regardless, they go on saying that they may also close long-term inactive accounts to maintain their database. You'll be notified by email if we begin the process of closing your inactive account. And if your account was flagged as inactive and you would like to keep using it, you can cancel the closure of your Ubisoft account and then find the link for the cancellation in the Ubisoft email. And then there's some more mumbo jumbo about checking your spam folder just in case and this and that. But it does confirm that they will
make sure to check your spam
from time to time.
Your games might be in there.
Losing all of the games that you paid for.
I just don't see a world where like this makes sense that they're doing it, but every other company isn't doing it. Like, what the fuck?
I still don't really understand the reason for it. It doesn't make much sense to me.
Well, I think it makes sense, right? They're trying to save money on data. They don't want to have as much data, and so they're just saving money on data. That's probably the reason why. I don't think it's really that complicated.
The only time this ever makes any sense to me is in the case of cheaters. If someone's cheating in an online game, obviously banning them makes sense.
Yeah.
Yes, they may have paid for the product, but that doesn't mean that they get to go in there and cheat in the game. And they should be banned for it, which does restrict access to the game they paid for.
Yeah.
But it's their fault. They fucked themselves. They broke the rules. Whereas here, no one's breaking any rules. They're just not active on Ubisoft. For good reason. Uplay is a fucking laughable joke of a service. So maybe there's just nothing that's bringing them back, and they haven't been back for a while. Why should they lose access to all of the games they fucking paid for? When it comes to like a single player game, or really any game aside from cheating in multiplayer games, when you pay for it, you own it forever.
Well, you should own it, but you don't own it, and that's the problem. That is the fucking problem right there. Is that whenever you buy one of these fucking games, you buy a license to play the game. It's like you buy a store mount, and wow, you don't own that store mount. You don't own those pixels. You own a license to use a license for these pixels on your licensed account. You're renting it. Yeah, it's like Blockbuster. It's crazy, man.
And should always have access to it because you bought it. But that's just not the way things really work when it comes to digital goods. And there's always just kind of been like this handshake agreement that, you know, you bought this on our service, so you do have it. You can play it whenever you want.
Yeah, exactly.
Until we tell you you can't. And here they're saying you can't.
Yeah, and I think the reason why it's gotten this far and it hasn't been an issue is because we haven't had a lot of instances of companies just like banning a ton of people for a reason that's like, it's like an unfair reason, effectively. And so like nobody's really talked about it. Nobody really gives a shit because it's not happening. But it's a huge problem. It's just a matter of time.
Based on some arbitrary distinction of you've been gone too long.
You mind if I
You're
search
too
my
inactive, so
check out the
illegal.
classes while
Which I
you
think is
talk?
really fucking
At
dumb.
least
That should
Leviathan.
be illegal to do that.
Oh, here we go.
I agree.
And let me
Lex
explain
tank
why
suits? Are
I
you
think
fucking
this-
kidding?
I don't think
I'll
it's
be
like, I
Marsan.
don't think that it necessarily
I'll do what needs to
should
be done.
illegal in that way. I think that there should be some sort of massive, like if you terminate somebody's account and they're no longer able to use the product that they paid for, then you should have to fully reimburse them for the money that they spent originally on that product. So like even if you, like if Steam bans your account or whoever bans your account, you should be fully reimbursed. Like without even a question. There's no consumer protection, yes. Because again, like for example, if I go to, I don't know, Walmart and I buy a chair, Walmart can't, like whenever I get banned from Walmart, they don't get to come to my house and take the chair. I keep the fucking chair. It's my chair. Now, with like online only games, right? World of Warcraft, for example, it becomes more complex, and that's like probably, I don't know really how this should work. But a lot of these games are not online only games, and there's no reason for them to be. I just think that there should be more consumer protection. Then everybody could do that as a way to refund the purchases with hundreds of hours of game time. Everybody could do that as a way to refund their purchases with hundreds of hours of game time. How would, like, so they would like make Steam ban them to do that? I mean, I don't know.
It's a horrible decision from Ubisoft. Why I think this is a particularly detrimental financial move for Ubisoft and other companies that follow suit is because it incentivizes people to not buy the official product. It encourages piracy. And not just this, but also the overly aggressive DRM a lot of games implement that actually makes the games play worse, is begging people to pirate the game instead because they get a more functional version of the game and they actually get to own it.
Well, this is a big thing with Nintendo games, is that people are doing that. People are doing that all the time. Is that they're trying to, what do you call it? Like they're trying to play the game with like out 30, like I think Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom or like the recent ones, where people didn't want to have to play the game at 30 FPS on a shitty Switch. So they have like a jailbroken version, and it's like it's way better, but Nintendo's shutting it down. And it's like, how do you really deal with that? Again, I think that if you buy a game and you pirate, like you emulate another version of that game, I think that's totally fine. Like I don't, there's no moral wrongdoing in my mind for doing that. Now, I think if you don't buy the game and you're just pirating the game, well then, I mean, you're basically, it's not stealing because it's pirating. It's you know, like copyright theft. So like, there's no loss of a fucking tangible thing, but you're effectively fucking stealing. But like, if you've already bought the game and you emulate it on something else, what are we doing here? Are we really going to talk about how this is actually a problem? Come on.
You pirate a game,
Yeah.
you own the game. That can't be taken away from you. Whereas if you buy the official game, if you just don't log into your Ubisoft account enough, you might just lose what you paid for. They might just deem you gone too long, you know. You went to the store to get milk and didn't come back in time, so now all of the games you bought from Ubisoft, you can't access anymore. The shit you paid for, you can't play. I don't know how companies that have been around as long as Ubisoft has, or been as successful as Ubisoft has, are all of a sudden just missing the most basic concepts here. The water in their facility must be contaminated with a stupid juice infestation. I don't get
something.
it. Because the number one thing to combat piracy is a better service. It's not more DRM. It's not making things more difficult. It's making things easier, more convenient, faster, and better. You get a better product when you buy the official one. You get it quicker. You get it easier, less headache.
That's the truth, right? Is that a lot of times, like, look at Spotify is the best example of this. Like, I don't pirate music anymore because Spotify is so good that it's worth spending the money because of the time that it saves, comparatively. And it's not even remotely close. It's, like, infinitely fucking better. Even, like, Netflix, right? I have a Netflix subscription, and I don't pirate, like, shows because it's just easier to just go and watch them on Netflix.
It's just a better service. That's what beats piracy. But for some reason, companies like Ubisoft are going in the opposite direction where they're making a worse product and worse service for anyone that's trying to legitimately buy it and engage with the official products, thus pushing people to piracy. It's something that everyone has mentioned like 1,000 times over the last few years. It's not just like a hot take for me or like a galaxy brain observation from me. This is basic shit that a company like Ubisoft should be able to recognize. It's just
the fact that there's no consumer protection laws at all for people that like just get their shit closed randomly it's like why not? What is the reason not to have that?
Dumb. Like, it's a silly policy to have. There's no way that it like somehow makes them money or saves them money or even like really frees up space or bandwidth for them or anything. It is just nonsensical. It's just dumb. It's just fucking silly. So yeah, I wanted to talk about this because this is just another example of another very successful company making the stupidest decisions for really no reason and no benefit. That's about it. So yeah.
I think that there's obviously, like, you know, you could say they're doing it to be compliant with the law. Maybe that's it. But again, if they're doing it to be compliant with the law, then they have to do it, right? They have to do it. I'll link you guys the video. But that doesn't excuse it in my mind. That doesn't just make it okay whenever they're the only ones doing it and all these other companies aren't doing it at the same level. If they were following the law that they had to follow, then of course they're not in the wrong. Of course not. But if this is just them being proactive and trying to save money, well then fuck that. Blizzard does the same. I got the email a few years ago telling me I needed to log in. If not, the account would be deleted. Is that true? Has anybody else had that experience? I also got a mail like this. Yes. There's enough people saying yes that I believe that it's probably true. Yes, with many businesses, well then maybe Ubisoft isn't really in the wrong here. Maybe they are just following the law and other companies do it as well. But because Ubisoft doesn't have a good public reputation, it's easier to shit on them. Yeah, maybe that's it. It's very hard to say because, I mean, it's again, like, I think that happens sometimes. Like people, you know, a company that nobody likes, or at least it's popular to dislike, does something that everybody else does, and then people shit on them for it. Did your old BDO account get deleted as well? I don't know. I have no idea. Let's see here. And my company would follow law by removing all personal information from accounts, but we keep transaction history intact so the person can reinstate their account and get all their previous purchases back. Well, I don't know what the laws are in Europe. I have no idea. Do you have a Ubisoft account? No. Who the fuck would I play on a Ubisoft account? Yeah. What about impossible to find old games that are like $2,000? Because in my opinion, that's fine to pirate too. I don't know. I mean, again,
I can
like,
latch
I don't
onto
wanna
them.
go through like a million fucking edge cases of whenever piracy is okay. Okay, like look, just ask yourself an obvious question. All right, like it's very simple. Here is my perspective on piracy. If you can afford to buy the game, then buy the game. If you can't afford to buy the game, then you can pirate the game. But don't go and tell anybody that you're a hero for doing it. It's not a good thing to do that. And if everybody pirated the game studios would go out of business and we wouldn't have any fucking games. So, steal it. Be my guest. But steal it with a smile and don't fucking tell me you're Robin Hood. That's what I think. You want to steal a fucking game, you want to download it, you want to pirate it, go ahead. Do it just fine. But don't go and look for pats on the back to morally justify what you're doing. You don't need entertainment. You don't need to play the new expensive $70 video game. This is not a life requirement. This isn't something that this has to happen. We're not talking about insulin. We're not talking about diapers. We're not talking about milk. We're talking about Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Get the fuck out of here. There's no reason for you to pirate this video game. You're doing it purely for your own selfish interests, and you know what? More power to you. But do not fucking go and tell me that it's justified. Steal it with a smile, and don't tell me you're Robin Hood. That's what I fucking think about piracy. Either way, I feel like this probably isn't something unique to Ubisoft, but people are just shitting on them.
It's time for another skeptical review of a game that I've been very, very interested in, as have many of you guys. Wolong Fallen Dynasty. This is the latest game from Team Ninja, the team that brought us Neo 1 and 2 most famously. Those games were polished, refined, and extremely difficult, while also balancing that out with a satisfaction from its combat and boss fights that was frankly unparalleled. Before anybody says it, of course these games fit into the Soulsborne genre, the genre of games pretty much pioneered by From Software, the same guys that brought us Elden Ring last year. And so while Team Ninja is certainly a very competent team of developers, it's next to impossible to discuss Wolong without bringing up the games that many consider to be the standard bearers for this entire genre. Don't worry, I'll avoid the Elden Ring and Sekiro and Dark Souls comparisons ad nauseum, for obvious reasons. I just don't think it's helpful. It's kind of the elephant in the room. What I will say up front is that there's a reason that those games are considered the standard bearers. They have phenomenally well-designed worlds and levels, the artistic design is tremendous, the boss fights are always tough but fair, the animations are extremely tight, the hitboxes are ridiculously accurate, and so on and so forth. And that's the standard that these games have to live up to, both From Software and all of these other studios making games in the same genre. And this is important because these games aren't actually fun if they fail to live up to that standard. Tough combat is only satisfying when it feels fair. If you lose a boss fight because of a stray hit or swing from an enemy that really shouldn't have connected or dealt damage, you will likely grow frustrated and possibly even quit entirely, especially if you've spent hours upon hours trying to get past that given encounter. The importance of polish and refinement in games like this cannot be overstated. It's everything. To put it simply, a clunky or unrefined Soulsborne game is simply a bad one. And so going into Wolong Fallen Dynasty, I was simply hoping to see a fleshed out combat system with action RPG mechanics to match, something which this team certainly has done before very, very well in the Neo games. I wanted to see decent level design, artistic design that keeps things interesting visually, and perhaps most importantly, a collection of boss fights and encounters that are unique, fair, fun, and difficult. Heck, they can even be extremely difficult. But it's crucial that the animation timings, the hitboxes, the signalings, and everything else are polished. And considering this is coming from Team Ninja, I had very high hopes. I really liked Neo 1 and 2, and I still think that they have a heck of a lot more nuance as far as the action RPG mechanics are concerned than a lot of other games in this category. While I'm naturally skeptical of games like this, especially because they are very, very difficult to pull off, a team like Team Ninja is certainly capable. So what did I find out? Does it live up to those standards, or is it yet another game that tries and falls just short of living up to that ideal? Well, let's talk about it. But first, a big thank you to our sponsor, Raycon. Raycon is offering premium audio at prices that don't break the bank. Whether you're looking for everyday earbuds, low latency gaming headphones, or just a speaker with a battery that will last you all night at a party, Raycon has got you covered. Personally, I'm one of those people that likes to have earbuds with me pretty much everywhere I go. I'm one of those guys. And so I always like stuff that's smaller, that's more portable, and low profile. And these right here are the everyday earbuds, and I've got to say, I've actually been like very, very impressed. Not only do they come in my favorite color of red that I've probably seen on any electronics ever. I mean, can you tell I like red stuff? It's like kind of a giveaway. But the earbuds are also actually extremely comfortable, which is saying something because my ears are, for lack of a better term, weird. Just like super corrupted. Below or in the pinned comment. Awesome, okay, back into it. Again, thank you, Raycon. The first thing I need to touch on real quick is why you're going to be seeing multiple characters in the gameplay I'm about to show you. This is sort of a PSA, a public service announcement for all of you guys. I played this game on PlayStation 5 because that's the only codes that they had available, and I ran into twice a glitch in the PlayStation cloud save system, which deleted all of my progress and save file, basically like corrupted it in the cloud. I've never had this happen before, but basically I lost 2 different characters and in total around 7 hours of gameplay as a result of this glitch. Basically, you would finish on one console, it would try to upload to the cloud, it would glitch out, get caught in a cycle where it couldn't figure out which was the actual save to keep, and the only way I could fix it was by deleting that save in the cloud storage panel in the PS5 settings and then just making a new save. And the only thing that fixed it was turning off automatic save syncs with the cloud. So if you have those turned on by default,
I'll keep you guys juiced up. I'm Nimbus. I'll keep you guys juiced up. Just try to stay together. Don't be afraid to get in there.
maybe check that out. Maybe I'm just one in a billion that ran into this, but it was extremely frustrating, and I don't want any of you to have that problem either. So maybe check those settings until PlayStation makes like a patch, because nothing sucks harder than spending an hour or two getting past a boss that's very, very difficult, getting past it and winning, and then having to start over because you lost your save file for no reason. I don't think it was this game's fault, but it seems to be a PlayStation issue, so certainly keep your eyes out for that. With all that said, let's get into the actual nitty-gritty of the game. The glasses are going on. Nerd Luke is here. To begin, I'm going to go through the opening section of the game briefly. This only constitutes the first 20 minutes or so, so I wouldn't count this as much of a spoiler, but if you do, I can respect that. I have time-stamped when this portion of the video is over, so you can skip ahead if you want. Though I will say that games like these are not the types to be spoiled in the same way as, let's say, narrative games. Wolong Fallen Dynasty is about the gameplay, not necessarily the narrative, and I won't be discussing any of the story in this section of the review. The game starts out relatively slow, with tight corridors leading you through some quick tutorial sections. They break down the basics, how to equip your melee weapons, your armor sets, and various usable items, such as the Dragon's Cure Pot, which is what's used to restore HP and what can be refilled at flag posts, which are this game's versions of campfires or lanterns in the Soulsborne games. This is all extremely standard and nothing to write home about, and it's something we've even seen before in the Neo games. I was quickly taken aback, though, as I pushed through this opening section of the game, where I realized that they were reusing the same building at least 7 times that I counted in the first 10 minutes of the game. This starts to get a little concerning because it's something the player simply shouldn't notice as far as I'm concerned. Designing these levels with reused assets is extremely common. Everybody does it. But if the player notices that things are being copy and pasted, it means it was done in a very obvious and haphazard way. And level designers are often trained to disguise this repeated use in various ways, with different furniture inside, mirroring the structure, or breaking the rooms up with enemies and the like. The fact that in the first 10 minutes we're already seeing pretty lackluster level design got me a little bit worried. And honestly, it's a concern that would prove all the more accurate as the game went on, but more on that in a moment. In addition to this, the walkways and areas that you'll be exploring during this opening section.
Oh, we got
are
a dead eye for
extremely
the birds.
Furthermore,
Perfect.
the texture quality is extremely poor, and the level more broadly just feels like tight corridors leading you from one enemy encounter to the next. But this is a tutorial section, so we can kind of forgive that. After a few short minutes, and after defeating some grunt enemies, and getting a feel for the attack timings, the dodge, etc., you're going to be faced with your first mini-boss, or you can choose to push on to the main boss of this area and leave the mini-boss behind. I decided to take on the mini-boss, which was this weird tiger-looking thing. As you can see, he has a higher number above his head than I have above my health bar. That's the number that represents the morale rank. This is a system that Wolong uses to encourage you to continue playing aggressively and to go from encounter to encounter, growing stronger with each level. The game doesn't tell you exactly how this affects gameplay other than this description in the tutorial section of the Documents tab, where it describes the morale rank as something which, quote, affects your strength in battle, end quote, and it says, quote, the same goes for your enemies, end quote, whatever that means. They go on to describe that an enemy's morale rank, should it be higher than yours, will mean that they will present a much greater threat to you. This level can be reduced in combat by completing a special heavy attack once you've broken a character's guard, which should mean that they grow weaker. In the case of long boss fights, which we'll discuss in a moment, this can be an interesting way of altering these encounters. Technically speaking, if you're doing a good job of deflecting attacks, which is this game's version of parrying, the boss should, in theory, get easier as the fight goes on, at least in terms of their damage output, though this isn't always the case because sometimes bosses have their own way of boosting their morale, especially later in the game. In addition, often their attacks get even more frenetic and chaotic, something that causes a few issues in this opening section for new players. It creates a clear guide of where you're supposed to go in levels, especially later on in the game where boss encounters might occur at morale level 20 or 25, and you have to grind your way all the way up there by leveling up your fortified rank, which basically means you set the floor for where your morale is going to be if you die. It doesn't reset to 0. This pairs with the flagpole system, which encourages you to explore levels. We'll talk about that more later. But all told, I didn't really feel like this added as much dynamism to the game as the devs were thinking it would. More generally, it just feels like another sub-level to the character because you have your character's level that dictates your overall strength and stats and that type of thing. And then you have the morale level, which is like a sub-level within your level. So you can be fighting enemies that are the same level as you are, but if you are at different morale rankings, it's not fair anymore. It's like a different level within the level, if that makes any sense at all. And honestly, for me, it more often than not just felt like a way of guiding the player through levels instead of encouraging open exploration, which you might really enjoy if you're a new player to these types of games, but often it made it feel like these levels were much more linear than they actually are. Because you'll run from one area of the map into another, see that there's high-level enemies over there in terms of morale rank, and you'll just go a different route where enemies are lower, which eventually loops up around to that higher-level area. So you don't actually end up exploring levels, you end up following along a very narrow and specific track. Again, it's an interesting idea, but I didn't feel as though it really added much to the game. It's just sort of an indirect way of controlling the player's movements through the levels and of forcing them to explore every nook and cranny of the chapters that you'll be going through. Again, there's a lot more to say on that. But back to our weird tiger mini-boss friend here. This is the first example of a boss that has a more complicated moveset. Prior to this, you've only been fighting humanoid grunts who offer little challenge. However, it was in this first fight that I realized something very strange was going on with the parry system. You see, this game's version of parrying is called deflection. You do it by tapping the circle button, or B if you're on Xbox, at the precise moment the attack is coming into you. It's pretty standard as far as action RPGs are concerned, and I personally love parry-based combat systems because they encourage aggressive gameplay. And of course, this is the reason that everybody constantly brings up this game's similarity to Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice, especially because enemies will often have unblockable attacks which prompts them with a big red circle, just like in Sekiro, which you have to parry, and really you're going to need to get those parry timings down, because after the first 5 or 8 hours or so, pretty much every boss is straight up undefeatable unless you are parrying pretty much everything they do, since there's no other way to break their spirit gauge, opening them to heavy damage attacks which actually make a difference in the health bar. All told, parrying is very, very important in this game. Now, because this game is so focused on balancing your spirit gauge, which is the gauge underneath your health bar that's also used like mana to redeem heavier attacks, improve your basic attacks, or do spirit attacks, which offer all sorts of cool boosts, you will constantly find yourself pushing in towards the enemy as opposed to running away, because this is the only way that you fill up that gauge. And I think that this is, in general, really great. I love this because it forces players to get in there and get their hands dirty.
Beautiful.
And when it comes together, it feels really, really good. If you played Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice, there are many opportunities in this game where you will start to feel as though it's clicking and things just work. You'll take on enemies and you're parrying the crap out of them, and it's just fluid and you feel like a badass. It's just awesome. But it doesn't start awesome. In fact, it starts pretty sucky in the tutorial section, especially if you aren't used to these types of games where you kind of keep a level head, not frantically button mash or lose your cool. For newer players to these types of games, there's one serious issue with how they routed the buttons. You see, they made the dodge and the parry button the same button. The difference is, if you want to parry, you tap circle once or B once, and if you want to roll or dodge, you double tap it quickly. What's the problem with that? Well, simply that in a hectic, chaotic battle, especially for new players, when they're trying to figure out the timings for dodging and parrying these flurried, frenzied attacks, which, bear in mind, for boss fights, they generally get more chaotic as the boss fight goes on, players will often accidentally dodge when they're just trying to parry the attacks. It's unbelievable that they made this button the same button for both actions. And before anybody brings it up, yes, I did go into the menus and try to reroute this, but you're not actually able to. The game thankfully allows you to manually alter button routings, but you'll find once you go into this menu that you can only move the dodge and deflect command to a different button. You can't actually separate the two actions. This is at least the case on PlayStation 5 on launch day. Maybe on the PC version you can tweak this a little bit more precisely, or maybe they'll patch this later to allow you to route the dodge button to a separate button entirely and have a dedicated button for deflections. I think the reason they did this is because in the game, if you are basically over encumbered and you're carrying too much stuff, or you have too heavy of armor for your current, what's effectively your endurance stat, then instead of actually parrying, you automatically roll. So one time I wasn't really paying attention, I put on armor that was too heavy, and I was confused when I was getting attacked, and I just kept rolling and rolling into enemies, and I wasn't actually doing any parrying or deflection of them. And I realized, oh, it's because when you are over encumbered, you can't parry, not even slowly, you just roll instead. And if that's really the reason that they made these buttons the same button, I'm utterly baffled. And I can't even tell you how many times in this first hectic, crazy tutorial mini boss tiger fight that I accidentally rolled instead of parrying when I should have parried. It's extremely frustrating. And unfortunately, I think a lot of players who are new to these types of games are going to grow so frustrated that something just isn't working that they'll probably put the game down and move on, which is really unfortunate, because once you do
got rid of
get
the
the
enemy
hang
dino.
of this
Good
parry
shit.
system, it feels
They knock him out
really,
fast.
really good. There are a handful of bosses, especially ones later in the game, that are particularly chaotic, which I would argue have attack patterns occasionally that are a little close for comfort. Basically, when attacks are too tight together, in order to parry them, you have to tap circle very, very quickly in quick succession. But if it's too quickly, you won't actually parry, and instead you'll roll. which means it doesn't matter how accurate your timings are, you'll just start rolling instead of parrying, which is really, really annoying. I mean, look at this guy's attacks. Like this attack right here with the horns. What the hell am I supposed to do? Like, I get it. Don't be there. Get good, bro. Move. I get it, but the whole game is about parrying. How badass would it be if this was a dedicated button?
God
and you
damn!
could parry, which
Good
occasionally I was able to do for some reason, but other times I would just randomly start rolling around. It's not consistent, and frankly, it doesn't feel fair. And the fact that there isn't a clear answer as to why this happens, it just seems like sometimes you roll in moments like these when you're trying to parry these attacks and other times you don't, means that it's just a little loose and sloppy, at least as far as I'm concerned. I think that this should have been routed to its separate dedicated parry button or deflect button, and then leave the roll as its own routing separately. I just don't know why they did this. But like I said, once you overcome this frustration, the combat's extremely satisfying and smooth. And once it clicked for me, I was able to beat the tiger pretty easily. But as I rushed in to loot his corpse, I was frustrated once again when I found that the only piece of equipment that was
I
on his
hated
body
that
as loot
shit.
for overcoming this foe was in fact significantly worse than what I was already using. I'm sure I don't need to explain to you how frustrating it is to spend 15 minutes grinding out a mini-boss only to find out it was effectively a waste of time. Unless you're one of those types that's like, it's not actually about the boss fight, Luke, it's about the friends you made along the way, in which case I can't even argue with you. Fair point. But after this, I pushed on
Give
to
me
the main
some
boss
good.
of this
Oh,
intro
gold.
area.
And
with
blue, my
admittedly
favorite colors.
Conflicted expectations.
What are you giving
Maybe
me?
this intro section
Dick
was
pic?
just thrown together quickly
Oh,
to
some
get players on the
coins.
ground
I
running
like
so they
those.
could encounter this
Thank
boss
you.
fight and the game could
I'll be
really
going
kick
now.
off. Or maybe,
Was I
just
playing with
maybe,
Nimbus?
this
You got an
introductory
ability.
area of the game was just a condensed version of what the rest of the game would have to offer. I jumped down the ledge to see which it would be. And what ensued was actually kind of awesome. The boss fight was epic, it was difficult, and yet it felt fair, and all told, it felt really good. It's extremely clear that this boss fight is meant to gate check players and make sure that they understand how the deflection and parry system works before letting them into later areas of the game, but they managed to set this up in a way where it doesn't feel like they're just slapping the player upside the head every time they fail. It feels as though you know what went wrong and what you could be doing better. And like I said, once this clicks with you in this introductory section, you're gonna get the hang of it, and you'll start to look forward to and try to bait these huge unblockable attacks where you have to parry it in order to avoid it. You start to welcome them because those increase the spirit meter even further so that you can break them and deal heavy damage to get through the boss fight. And that, in my mind, is a sign of a really successful combat system, when you are excited to be attacked with a very, very powerful heavy attack that you can't block and you have to deal with. That means that you are comfortable, you are confident, and you are competent in that system. I love this. I'm sure a lot of new players to these types of games who try this fight out will get frustrated and might even spend a few hours on this. But trust me, if you can push through it, you will be very, very happy with yourself. You will have not only gotten your feet under you and risen to the challenge, but you also will have overcome the encounter and feel like $1,000,000 as a result. And I did! So after this introductory section, getting through this boss fight and the mini boss fight, I had conflicting feelings, but what started out kind of negative actually turned into a real positive once I saw what this game does really, really well. And that is the combat mixed with the boss fights. I thought to myself, maybe this is just one of those games that has a solid combat system and great boss encounters that are encased in a pretty lackluster package. I wasn't sure if this was certainly going to be the case, but now I was ready to go through the rest of the game cautiously optimistic. At this point, I was pretty confident that this wasn't going to be a 10 out of 10, groundbreaking, genre-defining game, but it probably had something interesting to offer in those boss fights and in its pretty comprehensive action RPG systems. And the rest of my time with the game would go on to prove this point. Over the course of the rest of the game, you'll go through various areas, fighting countless grunt enemies on your way to boss encounters, which are all unique, both visually and in terms of mechanics. And once you unlock the ability to use co-op and some of the higher level magic abilities and weapons, it can actually get pretty crazy. There really is a lot here, and a lot of it is surprisingly good. As I mentioned, the parry system is extremely important. Once you get past this first boss fight, and certainly through the first couple of chapters of the game, you will be very confident with this parrying. This means that the only real challenge comes from either boss fights, where one mistake can lead to you being one-shotted and dying instantly, or with new enemies that you haven't gotten a ton of experience with that have new and different attack patterns and styles, which you have to learn, and then they become much more manageable. Or with group encounters where you're fighting multiple enemies all at the same time, something that's much easier to deal with once you get access to some of the game's spells, which are great for controlling masses with all sorts of different things such as poison or fire effects. There were many times when I would come up on a group of enemies huddling around, and instead of trying to take them on one by one as I would in classical games of this genre, I instead went for an AoE spell attack to deal massive damage to the group and then push in to clean up with a larger weapon that has broad sweeping attacks. And this is something the game does really well. It encourages you to have multiple weapons equipped, such as the crossbow, the sword, and then maybe a heavy weapon like a gigantic mace that looks like a pine cone on the end of a toothpick, and to take on encounters using these different weapons even within different phases of the same fight. For some bosses, the first phase is manageable and slow moving, and then the second phase is utterly chaotic, meaning you can only get in there quickly to deal swipe damage and then get out. Some may call me a heathen for not being a purist and using one weapon through the entire encounter, but I was actually surprised to see just how good it felt to build a character loadout, all of the stats, with two weapons in mind and balance them together in an encounter, swapping between them when you needed to. It shows how strong this RPG system is within this game, and as far as I could tell, there wasn't really a way to break it. They really know their stuff, and you can tell that these are the guys that made Neo. One of the frustrations I do have, though, are these companions. Pretty much every chapter of the game that you'll go through, you'll be paired with at least one AI companion. You can go through these sections co-op with friends if you want to, but I don't have any friends who are YouTubers and reviewers, and they didn't send me any extra codes, so I didn't have the opportunity to do that. You can matchmake randomly with people online, but because this version of the game I was playing was pre-launch, I could never get the servers working, and after sitting on the menu for like 10 minutes, nobody came to help me when I tried to summon someone. So I really don't know if this works well. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. I haven't heard any problems, but I wasn't really able to get it working. What I will say is that the AI is pretty freaking dumb. I can't even tell you how many times there was a massive attack coming in from a boss and these guys would just stand there and take it, not even attempting to roll out of the way. I'm not asking that every single one of these AI NPCs is secretly IBM's Watson. All I'm asking is that they perform basic functions that you would expect an AI companion to do, such as moderate self-preservation and dealing out even the slightest hint of damage to make them useful in fights. You can boost the companions by holding down R1 or right bumper on Xbox and pressing up on the D-pad or down on the D-pad if you have two companions and you apply it to both of them. And that helps them become competent. I don't know what switch gets flipped when you do that, but they seem to be much more useful once you do that. But honestly, the only thing they're really useful for, as far as I can tell, is for distracting the boss and pulling aggro, which can be certainly useful, but there's no way to directly command them to take aggro or to then let off and heal and then go take aggro again. They just kind of do their own thing, and you have to hope that they take the boss's attention and frustrate it enough that it starts attacking them instead of you, so you can actually deal damage. But
fucking
all told,
birds,
it's
goddammit. Vigilante, please.
I'm sure playing with friends is far, far better than this, because this is scraping the bottom of the barrel. It's pretty rough. One of the other things that's rough with regards to the combat system is the severe lack of enemy variety. Like I mentioned, the only times that you really will feel challenged with the parries are either boss fights, new enemies that offer differently paced attacks, or group encounters. Group encounters are reasonably managed. Boss fights are, of course, going to be unique each time you find them. But enemy variety is something that the game either has or it doesn't. And I hate to say that this game really, really lacks in that department. After the first few chapters, I felt as though I had seen every archetype of enemy that I was probably going to see. And even after that, over the course of the next 5 to 10 hours, I only saw one new enemy type, which was really just a twist on an enemy type we had already seen. They will also start to recycle bosses that you've already fought into some new enemy fodder that
It just
you
hit
will
me.
find while exploring levels. I could say that this is awesome because it gives you the chance to see how far you've progressed, that now you can handle these guys like it's no problem, even though they do have lower health and damage output. But all told, I just found this to be sort of lazy, and I didn't like seeing these bosses recycled. Instead, it just left a bad taste in my mouth. It felt like they were trying to find a way to shake up these levels and make them more difficult.
God damn
So we just
assholes
started
didn't attack
copying
me. They all
and
ignored
pasting
me.
stuff, which, again, is a perception I had in the first few minutes of the game, that a lot of stuff would be repeated here. And speaking of those first impressions I had with the game, let's talk about the level design and
God
how
damn
this
it, bro, I
game
didn't need
works.
help.
Many of these levels that you'll be exploring have shockingly poor texture quality, and honestly just look flat out bad. Probably the best example I could point to is this second level that you'll be going through, where honestly it looks as though you're running around a gigantic burnt chicken nugget. Maybe I'm alone here, but I really don't think this game is graphically on par with where it needs to be to compete with other peers in this category. I understand that this is a cross-generational game, but that's not really excusing a lot of this, especially because there are other games that have come out recently which are cross-generational and look significantly better than this one, while also offering much larger levels. Granted, most players who are going to get a lot out of a game like this are not playing it for the graphics. They're playing it for the gameplay, the combat, the boss fights, etc. So graphical fidelity really is not that important to them. Even to a certain extent, level design and the quality of the assets is not that important. However, that being said, I just have to make it clear that there are many times in this game where I felt as though I was playing like an Xbox 360 game. And honestly, if you told me that this was just like a new anniversary edition of a game that launched in 2012, I would probably believe you. There's nothing it does that feels as though it came out in this decade at all. It's all quite outdated in terms of approach to level design. Again, the graphical fidelity is pretty piss poor most of the time. The only time when it starts to look a little better is in cutscenes, but even then, there's weird artifacting, there's weird things going on. So all told, it's not great. It's certainly not a looker. It's kind of a piggy. That being said, I will say that the armor designs and the boss designs in general are pretty cool, but it seems as though the art direction budget went entirely into those two categories and nowhere else. Maybe these levels are actually really, really beautiful, and it's just the way that they're laid out that prevents you from seeing all of the beautiful detail, but honestly, I would consider that a problem in and of itself. And frankly, this is why I find video games so cool, because when they work well, it's a beautiful combination of a bunch of different art forms. It's a variable stew of different flavors of artistry, a little art design over here, combat design over there, with the music tying it all together, all wrapped in the broth of graphical fidelity to make it go down more easily. But frankly, just like a good soup, one phenomenal ingredient does not make the dish as a whole worth the price tag. In other words, just because this game's combat is amazing doesn't mean that you can excuse all of the issues that are scattered throughout. And listen, I know that you might personally not care about graphical fidelity or texture quality in a game like this. That's awesome. Frankly, I don't really care about it that much, but I'm going to tell you if the level I'm exploring looks like a topographical map of somebody's psoriasis on their lower leg. After all, these reviews are more about giving you information about the game.
God damn it.
You can decide if that's a big deal to you or not. As I'm describing this parry, deflect, dodge, roll issue with the button mappings, you might be looking at that and be like, huh, get good, bro. That's no biggie deal for me. I'm good with that, diggity dog. Don't stress about that.
Get the fuck out of here,
It's not a big deal for you. But there are going to be people out there who hear these things, and it does affect their consideration of the game. It makes them think more positively or more negatively of it. So I just want to stress that just because something might not be a big issue for you, it is going to be a big issue for other people, certainly. But back to it. One of the things that they did that was really interesting, which I mentioned briefly before, was that they tried to force the player to explore every nook and cranny of the levels that they've laid out here by tying the morale rank to these flagpoles that you have to claim as you work your way through the levels to the major boss of that chapter. It's an interesting idea, certainly, and it's one that's been tried before, basically making it so you prepare your character for the boss encounter by going through this chapter's map very carefully. And if you choose not to explore every nook and cranny, you will be at a considerable disadvantage compared to where the boss is at. And frankly, I like this, at least as a concept, but in practice here in Wolong Fallen Dynasty, it often feels as though you are being forced to explore very clumsily designed levels, when all you really want to be doing is taking on the boss. In my opinion, the level design in this game is one of its weakest points. It gets better later on in the game, don't get me wrong. They start to toss in a couple of switchbacks, hidden pathways.
Gather up, boys. Thank you. Making it easy.
Doors that can be opened, revealing new areas, staples from this genre, certainly. But they are few and far between, frankly. And honestly, it hardly justifies exploration for its own sake. We've all tried Soulsborne games where the level design is masterful and you want to explore every nook and cranny simply for its own sake, or to find a badass weapon that's going to fundamentally change the way that you play the game. But unfortunately, in Wolong Fallen Dynasty, there really are very few rewards that are worth finding. Instead, it's just an overabundance of junk that you're going to be finding. And as I mentioned,
why are you attacking the wall?
The system largely guides you where you need to go.
Who is he attacking?
And I never found myself exploring for the sake of exploring, but rather
God
just
damn it,
trying to find where the post was that I needed to get so I could take on the boss, which is the thing that I actually wanted to do. And while you technically could take on the boss before you've collected all of the morale points in that area, it's clear that they want you to find all of these before trying it, which is why they put in the top right corner of the screen next to the compass all of the different types of flags that they expect you to collect as you explore. Because it's pretty clear that they didn't want players to go into the boss fight just assuming that they were at the highest morale ranking that they could get for that level, but rather they wanted players to be informed just what they had missed. So if they get to the boss room, see the cutscene, realize that the boss is a level, say, 15 morale ranking, and it's going to be very difficult to take on without some additional help, they're going to die to that boss pretty quickly because they're underleveled, and then go back out into the level to try and find where the different flag posts are. Honestly, instead of it feeling as though they had justified exploration, often it just felt like I was being sent
got through that. Jesus Christ,
that I wasn't prepared for.
Did a bad job with that
T-Rex. It doesn't really feel good to get to a boss fight, see the cutscene, get excited to take it on, only to realize that you need to spend another 20 minutes running around very tight corridors and poorly lit hallways in order to find where some small square box is that you can shove a pole into. It's an interesting concept, and it certainly forced me to see more of this game's nooks and crannies than I would have of my own volition, but it often feels as though I'm just being forced to do something I really don't want to do. It's like in Batman Arkham Knight when they kept forcing you to play those tank sections. It's fine, I guess, but this isn't why I'm playing the game. I'm playing the game because I want to be Batman, not because I want to play some sort of mech Rocket League ripoff. But setting that aside, a couple of quick things I want to touch on. The performance, narrative, and pacing. As for the performance, on PlayStation 5, it's pretty solid. I did ask for a PC code and an Xbox code, as I mentioned at the top of the video, but I was told that none were available. Apparently only PlayStation 5 codes were available, which is a bit of a bummer considering this is an Xbox Game Pass title on day one. I will say I've heard rumblings that the PC port has had some issues, even in the demo that went out, I believe, last week, so I would certainly do your homework before putting up the money for it. As for Xbox Game Pass versions, I honestly have no idea how it runs there, but if it's similar to the PlayStation 5's performance, it's generally pretty good. I only ran into a couple of small stutters during this particular boss fight, but other than that,
I can upgrade Deadeye's ability.
And of course, once again, I just want to mention that PlayStation Cloud save glitch. The fact that I ran into it multiple times makes me really worried that one of you guys will run into it, so I guess just be cautious with the cloud saves if you are one of the types of people like me to play on multiple consoles. I have the PS5 down here, I have it in the family room, I've got the bedroom, so I just often do cloud saves and bounce between them as I'm watching like my 1-year-old upstairs in the living room I can be playing, and then I close that app and then uploads, and then I come down here to the studio and keep playing from there, and then that closes down. I can play it up in the bedroom. I do it all the time with various games, and this is the first time I've run into this issue where just straight up saves were corrupted when going into the PlayStation Cloud. So just be careful, because I don't want you to be like working your way through this game and then hit an issue like that. That would really, really suck. As for the narrative and pacing, both are nothing to write home about. The story and its characters are probably going to be much more interesting to you if you are familiar with Chinese history and the notable historical figures therein. As a Coloradoan, I will be completely honest and say that I have no freaking clue who most of these people are. I've been told that most of the characters and even many of the bosses are directly inspired from notable historical figures within Chinese history and mythology, which I'm sure is going to be awesome for those of you who understand it and are aware of it. But to me, somebody from the outside, it really just seemed like a cellophane story. And in case you haven't heard me use that term before, basically it's just a term I use for stories within games that exist purely just to justify the gameplay's existence and nothing more. You're not really supposed to take stories like this too seriously. They don't really expect you to take any notes or to remember every character's name, and they're not playing for emotional beats or anything significant of the sort. Rather, it exists simply to contain the rest of the game. In many ways, it's the same concept that could be applied to a lot of pieces of this title's puzzle. The poor texture quality, the lackluster level design, and at times the frustratingly boring set pieces all scream that this is a game that is justified purely by its combat system and broadly by nothing else. And to be clear, I don't think that this is an inherently bad thing. Some great games have very cellophane-like stories that are not really meant to be taken super seriously. I don't have a problem with this. I think it's totally fine. So don't think I'm like criticizing the game for this. I think it's actually perfectly fine. I do think it's important to note that they could probably cut all of the cutscenes, all of the narrative, all of the conversations between characters.
Taking a shit.
They could cut all of that.
What
and
about
I
you?
honestly don't think it would really
Damn,
change
Roblox
that
got a
much of
big
the
dick
game
plate.
at the end of the day. In fact, it
Packing.
might help it because there's issues with pacing when it comes to the story as well.
Who's
Of course,
Roblox
every
gonna
time
be
you
now?
begin a boss fight, there's going to be a lengthy cutscene that takes place
Zephyr?
before that
Okay.
justifies that boss's existence. And usually these things are actually really cool, and I personally love the cinematic intros for these boss fights. I think it's awesome. But what is often frustrating is that once you beat the boss, you're going
this
to have
asshole.
a post-boss cutscene, which can be multiple minutes long, often closer to 5 minutes long, where characters are talking quietly and softly to each other about things that you'll largely not give a crap about. I'd be lying if I said that this didn't feel like a buzzkill a lot of the time. I just defeated some crazy multi-headed monstrosity, and now we're walking quietly through a garden, talking about the top of the mountain that we need to get to defeat the mighty enemies that are pissing us off because we're mad. We're straight up pissed about it, and we need to get there. And once we're there, we can have a supple tea session where we can talk to each other about our lives, and we can cuddle while eating crimpets and biscuits. This got weirdly British for some. I was like, I don't know what just happened. I blacked out. Okay, back to it. The other time pacing comes up as an issue is within level exploration. Like I said, you'll get to the boss arena, get really excited to take them on, only to realize that you are woefully unprepared and that you need to leave and explore a mediocre, poorly laid out level in order to find where various flagpoles are. It's not fun, it's frustrating, and it was the low point of every chapter I went through. That being said, there are some really cool quality of life additions here that I do want to give Team Ninja credit for, because this is something that I think should be the standard in games like this, and to see them toss a lot of this stuff in was really cool. Examples would be the fact that most of the armor sets are actually really cool looking, and that if you find a piece of armor that you want to use that isn't cool looking, or if it doesn't work with your current set, you can actually change and transmog its appearance into another set, so that you have a unified look. A cool addition that I didn't feel was necessary, and yet it's really cool to see here. Or perhaps we could look at the fact that later in the game you can gain access to reattribution of skills, the ability to rework your appearance if you're not happy with it, and even something as small as the ability to go into the menus to just turn off your helmet. All of these little additions show that the devs thought about all these little details and wanted to make sure that players got those quality of life additions. And I really think they deserve credit for that. Other small things I didn't expect them to include, such as the ability to swap out enchantments, which are what determine smaller stat boosts to gear, was a really cool addition. Personally, I didn't find myself fiddling with it too much, as it started to feel needlessly tedious since the rest of the loot is so hyper abundant. Like, seriously, you will get so much freaking random crap while exploring these levels. Most of it you will never touch or use because almost all of it is significantly worse than what you will already be using, especially once you go to the blacksmith and begin upgrading your gear to refine your build. All of this ground loot will effectively become useless immediately. And to be fair, this is something that's been present in every single Team Ninja game that I can think of, so the fact that it remains here seems to me a conscious decision. This probably means that there's a good chunk of fans that love this stuff, that is the hyperabundance of loot and the extreme fine-tuning of equipment that they empower you to use. I just personally happen to be in the group of their fans that finds it overly tedious and kind of annoying at times. Thankfully, you don't have to engage it with that level of nitty-gritty detail if you don't want to. I found a couple of weapons early on that I really enjoyed using, one heavy with slow attacks and another that was quicker for close-ranged engagements with bosses that moved quickly and grunts that were hyper-chaotic. And I then upgraded those as the game went on, and I never felt as though I was at any sort of significant disadvantage to an alternative version of myself that spent an hour carefully crafting these things. But I mean, all told, there's a lot that this game does very well, but there's also a lot that it does really poorly. And often with games like that, we end up in, again, the B- sort of 8 out of 10, 7.5 out of 10 range, where the game is good, but not great. And the thing is, and something that I'm frustrated that seems to have been forgotten in the industry recently, is that good games, not great games, but good games can still be worth playing. You don't have to have a perfect 10 out of 10 every single time. You can have a good game that's still worth enjoying. It's just maybe not worth $70. Maybe instead it's worth getting on sale at $40 or $35. And that's where this game falls. Now, some of you, I'm sure, were watching this and looking at the game, and you were already going to buy this at full price on PS5 or PC. And you know what? More power to you. If this looks to be checking all of your boxes and you want to get it at full price, you know who you are and you're going to do it. And I am more than happy to see that you are getting a game that you are excited about. And as long as you're going into it informed with what it has to offer, you understand the constraints and issues here, and you are still informed and deciding to go forward.
This is Zephyr, where are you going?
More power to you. I think that's awesome. But for most players, I would personally recommend that you either wait for a sale or you go and play this on Game Pass where there's no additional cost to you. You can just download the game and start playing without paying any extra money up front. Once again, it's just another example of how Game Pass fundamentally changes the way that we review and critique games like this.
My
Because
special
now,
charge is so
instead of
fast
having
too,
to,
goddamn.
Maybe you get it at $35 or $25 or wait for this point. We can just say like, I think this is worth a try, especially if you like FromSoft Soulsborne games, if you loved Elden Ring and you're looking for another fix. This game is a great one to
How the fuck
tackle,
did he get all the way up
especially
there?
because I think once this clicks with you, once the parry system clicks, I find it significantly easier than games like Sekiro or even...
Bro, we're gonna need you. Ashiko.
So I would personally
Ashniko.
recommend that you give it a shot. But again, if you're playing on a platform where you have to pay full price, I would
what the fuck is this, Leviathan?
It's a good game, but
You're slowing
it
us down.
also feels horrifically outdated in a lot of ways. And I hope that as they move on and they continue to make new games and upgrade their engine and things, that they can take notes from this and hopefully start to bring their engine into this decade. That would be awesome. Because while the game works well and it serves the purpose, often this game is just kind of ugly while you're exploring levels. Boss fights are really cool, fun, and even often stunning, but every other portion of the game often is just lackluster and subpar. And I think that's worth bringing up because if we just continue to sort of hand wave it away, they will never push the boundary or do better because they simply won't need to. So I think us holding their feet to the fire a little bit is probably good for everybody. But that's going to do it for me. Thank you to Koei Tecmo for sending over the review code. Very generous of them to do it.
Yeah, let's go.
We're on a bit of a time crunch with this one, which is why this critique review thing is going up on launch day instead of in the day before or days before launch. It's just because we were on a bit of a crunch. The review code for this came like 2 days or so before, two and a half days, I don't know, before launch. It was a little bit before launch. So it came down to the wire. But you know what? What am I complaining about? First world problems, right? Oh no, I have to play video games. Wow. Can you imagine? Anyway, thank you for watching. I love you guys so much. Join me over on Luke Stevens Live right now if you're watching this review on launch day. I'm probably streaming at this very moment, or I'm about to start streaming. So come by, say hi, just look up Luke Stevens Live in the search bar. Check it out there, and I will see you when I see you. Much love. I'm bad at outros. Bye.
Ooh, already back up to 80. Holy shit. They got a roadblock. Goddamn. They got a fucking shield up with barrage. I'm gonna get Deadeye at the PvP round. Oh, this game's gonna be a bitch. We're gonna have PvP at the end. I'm barrage, but I'm gonna switch to Deadeye for the PvP at the end. Oh, here it is. Let's go. I haven't played Deadeye in a minute, shit. Get him, Marsan, we got you. Blasting his fucking head. Good shit. Where do we have to put the hammer? Oh shit! And I missed. Where the fuck? Good shit, he's dead. Good shit. Alright, this is the PvP. Alright, this is the PvP part. Oh. Yeah, I know my mic sucks. Suck my dick, bitch. Fuck you. Who the fuck was that talking? Let's see. I want to see your score at the end of the game. Say something. That's right, pussy. Shut the fuck up. I'm looking at the fucking names. Are you gonna say something, bitch? Go ahead, pussy. shit, the PvP. Where are they?
By the way, it was me talking, bitch. I got the most points. So you suck my dick.
Alright, doesn't matter. Shut the fuck up. You're still a pussy. Talking shit for no fucking reason.
You're the one who's fucking angry. I just said your mic was bad.
Motherfucker! Exactly! Shut the fuck up! Pussy! Stop talking shit and enjoy the fucking game. Motherfucker's just trying to use the mic. Do a little coordination. Fucking angry ass miserable pussy. Make some fucking friends. Go hug your mother. Go say hi to your fucking daddy. I don't even know if he fucking likes you the way you're talking. Stupid bitch.
That's bad shit coming from somebody who is in first place.
Shut the fuck up, pussy, bragging about first place. Who gives a fuck about that? You're the one being a fucking angry ass pussy online. Learn to be a better fucking person, pussy. Fuck off.
That's coming from the guy who wants to talk shit to somebody who didn't have the most points.
What fucking pussies, man. Can't even say anything without somebody trying to pop off. Well, I guess I'm the one who got mad, but he's a fucking pussy either way. Alright. That was a pretty good game overall. We fucking whooped them at the end. God damn. Ugh. Give me those goddamn coins. Level 15? I killed so many dinos with you. And Deadeye got the experience. Shot grenade. Direct hit. Who the fuck would want the thrust attack for Deadeye? What the fuck is the point in this upgrade? Increases thrust attack damage by 20%. Increases the knockback distance of nearby enemies hit by a charged thrust attack. Whatever. His thrust is just pretty useless. Barely use that.
Dude, you're crazy, Blizzard. You're crazy. Shameless. I've never seen something so shameless in my entire life. That is wild to me. Yo, dude. Yo. Fired all the UI designers. No, the managers forced them to do that. Blizzard moment. Blizzard moment. Oh, man.
I might start playing Remnant 2
say,
today.
I
This
feel
is
bad
getting
for
old,
everybody who did
man.
this, but I will also
All these
say
fucking maps are the
that-
same. Got.
And I hate to be the one to say it.
There's gonna be
You're
people
kinda
talking
maybe
shit.
you're
Gamers might as well at
kinda
least
sleeping with
have a lot of
dogs.
content.
If you're kind of sleeping with dogs,
Probably
you're
run
also
into the
one
same
to
asshole. This game has like
these days.
how many
I hate to
players
be the
does
one to say
have?
it. He shouldn't have had to go through this. But there are people who are like, you know, I want to support Blizzard. Why? Why? Why do you want to support Blizzard? After the people who invented the cube crawl. I remember the Ackman said that. He was like, I think he said I wanted to support Blizzard. Why? I don't want to support Blizzard.
About
I wanted to
2,000
play
players
Blizzard.
right now.
But like I definitely didn't want to support Blizzard. And so that was one of the big reasons that kept me from like buying Diablo 4 is like I really don't want to support this company. One click money gone. Remarkable. It truly is remarkable.
scam, dude.
That's crazy.
Wait, what
It is a
happened?
huge
Oh, I'm not
scam.
caught up. No.
Ain't wrong.
What an actual fucking scam.
They really do be treating all of their players like assholes, right? Like they're like, oh yeah, these guys are assholes. Let me scoop the money right out of their account. Fuck you, asshole. It's crazy. A masterpiece, truly. Yeah, this is like a masterpiece in how to scam your audience. So you guys just got scammed.
All right, I'm playing with some veterans. Level
Oh, you're saying that
41,
they probably
35.
fired
That's
all the big
okay.
UI designers. Or they chased them out. They either fired them or chased them out.
Octomad, bro. Okay.
One misclick.
I
and
can
it sucks
block and
everybody
report, but
in.
not add. Oh, that's right. It's not crossplay, so you can't add anybody. And it's all
Moving
PC
around
players.
like-
Nobody on PlayStation has this shit.
It was deliberately.
I think I was the only one thirsty enough to get it for $60.
Designed that way. This one, like, you know, the rest of the shit we've been memeing, we've been talking about it, it's whatever. This right here, malicious design.
Crazy. It's crazy. Fuck you, asshole. Did you get reimbursed? Nah, I'm peacing out. Not worth the
Leviathan,
effort,
load the shit up.
as I
Get
don't
your
intend
load the
to
ship
play
up. Get
the
your
game.
Zans on the
Hope
plane.
others are able to benefit from this
Leviathan's
thread,
making us
as
take
two
the
people
take the
from
fall
Diablo
for his
team
drug
posted
bust.
here and acknowledge that this is a problem.
You got cocaine on the
And
ship.
You know the craziest thing about it is
You
that
got
this
your
might
Leviathan,
actually
just-
be a bug.
Don't let the police search your ass.
You know the crazy,
Your
it
digital
is
ass.
genuinely, literally, might actually just be a bug and actually unintended.
Oh, I forgot my
Which I'm
goddamn.
not sure if it's better or worse, but it is crazy.
I'm gonna try to get in closer with a barrage.
Yeah, it's a free money. Yeah, it's free money bug. Free money, free money. Yeehaw. What is this? Former Blizzard designer was right about the current state of Blizzard. What's going on?
Ooh, good shit.
I got to log out of my Reddit account.
Although to be fair, I think that was the only asshole I ran into. Most of everybody else I talked to on the game, they're having a lot of fun. They're pretty chill.
What happened?
Not like immediately super racist or anything.
Is its ship sinking or has the sun not yet set?
Oh, I say super racist like it's a power.
Blizzard is dead.
Just
It is a
racist
corpse.
in general.
It is a corpse being puppeteered by Activision, and
Dinos falling, get them!
and it's going
Finger their
to
buttholes is a
be
weakness.
used as
Dinosaurs
basically
have
a
never
factory
experienced that.
to put the Blizzard stamp on things and stoke nostalgia to get sales, and that's it.
I'm sorry, Mersam. He's not getting his counter. I know how
That's
frustrating
it.
that
So
is.
stop holding out hope that Blizzard is going to come back. Everyone who founded Blizzard, all the principles that Blizzard was founded on, they're gone or they're dead. No one died. Sorry, the principles are dead. That
Oh no.
no one died.
Okay.
Principles that Blizzard was founded on
Blizzard killed
are
their
dead.
employee. Well,
They've been
actually,
desecrated.
that's actually untrue because at the Ag Blizz studio, somebody did commit suicide because of how bad the treatment was. So that's actually not true. Some people are dead, literally. So he was right the first time.
Created, and are destroyed. So let Blizzard go. That's my main message: is let Blizzard go. Appreciate what was
Yeah,
created
fuck
back
Blizzard.
with
Fuck
them,
him in the ass.
and
Fuck him in the mouth and the
stop
ear holes
holding out
everywhere.
that it's gonna come back.
They don't deserve this dick. Well, they deserve revenge dick. Angry dick. Bitch, stay with your friends so we can kill you together. Come on. There we go. That's a good
It's so
dinosaur.
over.
Accept
it
death.
really is. What do you guys think? Is this really never more over than it has ever been?
Where are
Because
we
this
going?
does seem really over.
This car is tiny. What the fuck? Oh, we are in exosuits.
I'm not sure what's going to happen to Blizzard under Microsoft. You know what I mean? I'm just not sure. I have no clue.
Blizzard and Microsoft is a
I don't
dream
necessarily
team. What are you
think
talking
that
about?
Blizzard's going, the Microsoft's going
Only good things can come from Blizzard
going to,
and
like, turn
Microsoft
around
coming
the ship or
together.
something. It could make
That's
it just a
amazing.
little better. I mean, there's like a possibility, but and there's also a big possibility that they could get much worse too. So, I guess we're just going to have to find out, right?
I keep forgetting my goddamn flames. What's this game? I don't think I've played this one before. Or at least it's been a while since I've played
Corpo gobbles up small Corpo. Hope things get better.
I'm sorry, Mersam.
Microsoft.
Sorry, Mersam. I'll let you try to
hope
get your
Microsoft
counter
shakes things up on the inside.
when I see your guard up.
I doubt it. That is true.
I'll
That
stay
is
a little.
true.
He
I
can
do
handle
doubt it,
himself.
but my Microsoft
I don't need to
stock
be
has gone
blasting
up,
right
so
in front of
maybe
him.
they think they will be making money. But at the same time, I don't really trust Wall Street when it comes to workers' rights. So you know, it'd be that way.
Alright, let's let Mersam get his guard, boys. You don't need to start popping off just
No
yet.
faith in Microsoft. No, Microsoft.
I'll get this side. Here you go, Mersam. You have fun. You
Microsoft
get your
doesn't have that
counter.
bad of a
Oh,
work
god
environment.
damn it!
No,
I kept
think
fucking.
they'll
I'm
clean that
sorry,
up when it
man.
comes to, like a work environment, yeah.
Here,
But
bro, get
if you're
behind
going
us.
to be
We'll take care of
producing,
these
like,
guys.
Good games. That's a whole nother thing.
What the fuck,
That's a
purple
whole other thing.
dinos?
Working environment probably get better.
What are you dipshits
Games
doing out
may
here?
not.
Die. What the
But
fuck
a
are
better working
these?
environment could mean
What
that
the
like
fuck?
developers
What's a
will have more
name?
time to make better games. But at the same
Just,
time,
he can go on the ground.
if like the higher ups just like still only care
Dumbass
about
little
the money,
Neosaur.
it's not
Fuck
really gonna
off.
get better. They have the incentive to make good games. That is true. But Redfall.
Mersam will have his
Yeah, I remember
opportunity to get
That is true, but Redfall.
good shit.
You got me. I was actually excited for Redfall. I'm not gonna lie. I thought Redfall was kind of gonna be like Remnant. I thought it was gonna be like a I thought it was gonna be kind of like magic vampire zombie.
I thought that show was gonna be so cool.
Borderlands, if I'm gonna be honest with you, and I was like, that sounds interesting. So I was actually following Redfall, but then it came out to be Giga Ass, and I was like, oh okay.
Giga ass. He blocked him in with a shield. Good shit. Shoot him in his ass. Somebody get that boy.
And if you can,
I got him.
believe
Oh,
it.
Nimbus. Mersam.
Remnant 2 looks sick. Sorry, Remnant 2.
Big tank,
yeah,
but a
Remnant 2 does look
teddy
sick. I
bear
like
at
it.
heart. We love
I like
Mersam.
it. I already have Remnant. We need to finish normal Remnant, and then we can play Remnant 2.
You will now commence the final mission. Get your condoms ready. What? Where is bro skedaddling?
What is bro doing? Where's he skedaddling?
This look like some found footage shit. Not found footage, some like creepypasta. I'm just going to diddle some dinos.
Lord, he's skedaddling. Where will he go? Where will he go?
Yeah, put him in the fire, stupid bitch.
Yeah, this is the tweet I was talking about. Men like big dicks too, cause when I suck a little dick on OnlyFans, they get mad. Crazy. This is a crazy thing. She's out of pocket, but she's right.
Oh shit!
Right. How can she say something so controversial yet so true?
Dumbass. Loser. Bitch.
Blizzard released new content for Overwatch Challenge. Impossible difficulty.
He doesn't even know what's going on. It's too much. Good shit, Mersam. God damn. That's a big boy. We love you.
Yeah, because
oh, what was that?
Ooh. In the video. And it's big in my heart. So
thank you,
it has
Nimbus.
to be big in video too. Stinkweed.
Quick, Nimbus. Get him now. Put in more work. We need you.
I'm very sorry to report that I've re-downloaded Overwatch. The
Sorry,
addiction
Deadeye.
continues.
You have to take that death.
Overcrotch sucks now? You think so?
Over crotch? Is that what
Why
it is?
X videos is trending?
What was that?
Oh yeah.
I jumped into his
Oh, yeah,
shit.
it's all.
I was gonna do my my detonate, my mines.
Oh yeah, it's all falling apart. It really do, don't it? Yeah.
This
why?
pussy ass
It's actually because of
Triceratops, get
Twitter.
the fuck over here, man.
Have you seen that have
Too
you
late.
guys seen this?
Oh,
Last
fuck!
night, Elon made one of the dumbest tweets that I think he's ever made, which is that he wants
Thank
to
you,
get
Daddy.
rid of the last valuable thing about
Thank you, Mommy.
Twitter.com, its
No!
name. So he wants to change Twitter's name.
Well, you guys got to get the
from
nurse, Nimbus.
Twitter to
She's getting
X
fucked up.
or X or
No,
something.
Nimbus.
DX.
I gotta keep
So
her.
along
Oh
those
God!
lines, X social media, social X, X social, something along those lines. He wants to change it from something
Where's
that
Nimbus
sounds
at?
like.
Oh, what the fuck is this? Alright,
brands
whatever.
That people know, care about, and would like to at least
Thank
at some
you.
point.
Football
at some
player.
point, used to want to pay
OJ
for,
Simpson.
to something that sounded like a porn site. It sounded like a.
OJ
it
was a
sounded like
football
gay
player,
dating
right?
app.
It's
It
the
sounds
OJ
like
skin.
it sounded like a.
He doesn't like that
complete-
reference. He's no longer OJ. He's
Crazy to me.
DJ.
It's remarkable to me.
Oh, we got a big
It makes
dino.
literally no
Big dick,
sense.
big penis. Tear
I
that
think he
dino
thinks
dick
X
off.
is futuristic. Yeah, I do think he thinks the letter X is futuristic.
Get him,
I don't know, maybe
bros!
he has a really cool connection to the to X too, because it reminds him of all of the women who's been in his life and what they've made him. That could be.
Well, what are
possible
you
as well.
yelling for? You got people to attack. My stun grenade didn't stun him. Perfect. Keep him in the fire.
We are watching
Burn
a
him.
train
Cook him.
crash. We
Cook
are.
him. Carnotaur steak.
We
Oh,
are.
tastes so good. So good. Dinosaur dick. The best kind of dick. Oh, let's fuck this fat guy up. The thick. Not really fat. He's very girthy. Body fat percentage 0 on this guy. Just all
This
spikes.
is crazy, man. This guy is genuinely out of his mind. Out of all of the things that he could be
Oh, what
spending
is he
his time on,
doing?
making the site, not fixing any of,
Oh,
any
shoot
of
him.
the actual problems, and just like trying to change it until
Little
people
belly.
want to spend
Wants a
money
belly
on it
rub.
is wild to
And
me.
we're just shooting him in the face. Imagine we're the bad guys. These dinosaurs are actually just trying to play with us. Oh, God. Somebody kill that dipshit up there.
It's definitely a what the fuck.
Fucking
situation.
Zephyr just hanging out in the background.
Here, let me show you some news. This all began last night on Elon's
You can
Twitter.
run? I've never seen this thing run before. Pretty slow run, but run either way. 100,000 points? God damn, we're racking it up.
All this dude does is fucking.
Oh, the raptor
It's
swarm.
crazy.
Fuck yeah.
I still think that he originally
Yeah.
wanted to buy Twitter because
That's what I need.
it'd be easier.
Oh, they
for
got a
him to,
bot.
like,
They're gonna lose.
Spend his life.
Or they could win.
Genuinely.
Barrage gets 100k points. What a monster. Alright, team. Oh, put your shields up. Match ending. Oh, match ending? Oh, what is this? No, I wanted to play the Raptor Raid. No.
Frankly, I love the negative feedback on this platform. Vastly preferable to some.
What the fuck happened? I thought we were keeping up.
Yeah, buddy, I bet.
What is this,
Everybody
man?
hates every decision that I make on this platform. Really, I promise. I'm
Oh.
definitely not when you guys are like mean to me. I definitely think it's super. I think it's super.
Why?
Badass when you guys give me so much negative feedback, and I'm definitely not super mad. Deleted tweet, violating rules against hateful conduct. One thing about Elon Musk is everything he's involved with always ends up as an X. Damn. Anyways, deleted for violating their rules on hateful conduct. Anyways, I think it's really great that everybody is criticizing me all the time. Anyways, if a good enough X logo is posted tonight, we'll make it worldwide tomorrow. Why? Like this, but in X. Oh, sorry. It's soon we shall bid adieu to Twitter brand and gradually all the birds. Why? Why? Did you see also recently that they said that non-verified users limit how many tweets that they can send per day? So now so apparently, hey, remember all those tweets that we saw of people calling themselves like hard R rapist, like N-word hard R rapist, and they were allowed to be on the platform, and people who keep using the T slur are allowed to be on the platform, and people who spread hate are allowed to be on the platform, like Tate. Misogyny is allowed on the platform, but being mean to Elon Musk is not allowed on the platform. So yeah, I guess cis is a slur now, but apparently being like fuck you, your wife left is crossing the line into hateful territory. Like this, but X. It's just so stupid. It's just so stupid. I genuinely don't think that he knows or cares what he's doing. Some people said that he may be trying to like destroy. He may be trying to destroy Twitter to like, I don't know, maybe file like insurance claims or something. If X is closest in style to anything, it should be, of course, Art Deco. Fucking, what are you saying? Not sure what subtle clues gave it away, but I like the letter X. He's such a fucking loser. I hate to say it. It sounds like a porn site. Doesn't it? It sounds like a porn site. It really does. And like, and he's just like a cute. I still think what I said about him a while ago was super true. That Elon Musk runs his life like a sitcom where like a 9-year-old invested his allowance into penny stocks in like 1999 and then went into a coma for like 40 years and then woke up as the world's richest man because his like penny stocks from a while ago made like a bunch of money and is now trying to reclaim his like childhood or something and has like the brain of a child but like the money of the world's richest man. And I genuinely believe that's how this man runs his life. That's exactly what happens. He thinks he's the funniest character in the world. He thinks that he's like an excellent memer. He thinks people should like him. He's super sensitive. He's wildly cringe. And has the humor of like and it has the humor of like a child in a sitcom. It's wild. It's wild. What is this? Rate limit exceeded? Yeah, this is exceeding my fucking limit, Twitter. More like shitter. What were they thinking? So true. You really got him with that one. Oh man, he's not recovering from this one. Holy savage. Gotta be on meth? No, he's high on his own farts. Cause like, what are you even gonna, if like you can't, for one, apparently Twitter has a new CEO, but I don't even know who this lady is. Yeah, after 17 years. List of people who actually want this. That is true. What do you call it? Like, here's my thing, like, Twitter is he's never like actually made a company that's like wanted him around for the long run. So maybe he just doesn't get brand recognition or thinks that like since the businesses that he's bought are doing well no matter what he does because people have been there to clean up his mess, he thinks that he could do the same to Twitter and he could just, you know, do whatever he wants and still make money. but brand recognition for a business is so big. Like even people who don't know what Twitter, even people who don't know Twitter, who don't use Twitter, like know what tweets are, and a retweet is. If you're moving away from all birds and all like Twitter iconography and all Twitter branding, what the hell is a tweet? Is it going to be a zeet? Is that what that is? I mean, like, Jarvis said this too. Did you see my zeet? Dies. Untweet this. What you mean to say is unzeet it? Skeets and scoots. Yeah, the same thing happened with Blue Sky, where people were like, hey, let's call it a retweet a skeet. A zit. You quote zeeted me.
Yeah.
I got quote zeeted.
Hold up, man. Man, why do these pussies keep blocking me? Bitch, I just posted Velma's pussy. That's it. Whatever. Does this game have a fight only bots option? There's nothing like that here. I don't know what the fuck these people are talking about. Exosuit levels, yep. Give me all that shit. Shut the fuck up. Barrage. Impact grenade. Yes, baby. %. It's pretty good since it's a lot of damage. Lingering threat. Izol compression module. Yup, all good to go. And then we got Deadeye, let me make sure he's good. Recharger, level 5. Yep. The bigger the dino, the faster the recharge. The cheaper, the smaller dino. The raptors, I don't really get too much recharge with them. Base damage, the shitty thrust. I don't really like the dive dodge. These are kind of useless. Automatically reloads weapon on use. Like, the reload's already pretty quick. And even then, I have a reload efficiency. The reload efficiency module. It's like a snap fast reload. Doesn't take long. Now I want to max out my favorite suits to level 20. So it's gonna be. I already got everything for Barrage, but I want to play with this impact grenade a little more. And then I'll Then I want to do Marsam. The support, I'm playing with them the least, but they're still kind of fun. I just don't feel like supporting. Actually, I'll play support. I'll switch in between. Barrage. Oh, I want to play another game. Don't know what to play with. Skywave. What's she at? She's good. Ether Enhancer. Witch Doctor. Sprawling Shock. Grants an attack boost to allies. That could be good. Repair boost. Oh, I'll upgrade this. Get my boy hooked up. My bad, man. I didn't know you were living like this with minimal upgrades. Hyzol compression module. The drill fist. I'll see if that works out during combat. That should be nice. Oh. The perfect team is like him. Krieger does really good with him. Krieger would be really good with this guy. Oh. All right, let's get the rest of Barrage's awards. How much do we get? We got a little bit of Bitcoin. A little bit. Oh, did I pause it? I can pause Twitch streams now.
First impression. Yeah, okay, I see. In one massive impression by changing the way we communicate, now X will go further, transforming the global town square. X is the future state of unlimited interactivity. What does that mean? Centered in audio, video, messaging, payments, banking, creating a global marketplace for ideas, goods, services, and opportunities. Okay, he doesn't want to be like Facebook. But worse, he wants to make worse, smaller Facebook. Powered by AI, X will connect us all in ways we're just beginning to imagine.
How many hours have I been playing this game? I'm already getting kind of bored.
What's your address? Listen, I love unlimited
43 hours. That's pretty good.
I love unlimited interactivity. What's your address?
More enjoyable 40 hours than Final Fantasy was.
You said unlimited.
I at least want to get my ultimate trophy,
audio,
my platinum.
X video, X messaging,
eliminate
X
a total of
payments.
100K.
Yeah, it's over. It's over. It's time to leave. If like anything has truly doomed this app, it's this. It's over. It's time to go. We will have to finally get employed. Man, it sucks because I finally like Twitter is my second largest non YouTube following. Like for like my following online, it goes from like YouTube, Twitter, and then Twitch. And everything else is like much smaller than that. But yeah, like it's, man, that sucks. I just got to 31,000 followers. I thought it was super cool. It's over now. It's time to go. Do you intend to be on Threads? I don't know where I'm gonna be. I think at the end of the day, I'm probably going to be on, I don't know, my YouTube community tab. Outside of that, I don't know. Like, Threads has a long way to go before it's worth using, because they wouldn't even spend like 5 seconds developing a good app before they started to force feed you like ads, and like only corporate tweets. So, or corporate threads or whatever, corporate tweets. So, I'm not sure. Not sure. Reddit has better porn, I think. I don't know, maybe. Maybe, I guess. I don't know.
All we got are some
Twitter is not long for
Vigilant. Nice. I like the Witch Doctor. I gotta play with him some more.
Reddit's dying too.
But he
Reddit
needs
is
more
dying
support.
as well,
He can't
so.
just be out there by himself.
Internet is genuinely falling apart before our very eyes, don't it be? It's falling apart before our very eyes, ain't it? I thought Threads had potential, but it seems like it doesn't. Blue Sky doesn't really have much potential at all.
Get him, Mersam. Good shit.
Because the way it works. Mastodon was here. I don't know, maybe Mastodon. I don't know what Mastodon's been up to for a while. I haven't heard anybody talk about it. It seemed like there's no real competitor to Twitter for like what it does and how it works. I enjoy Blue Sky. Maybe, I guess. I don't know. I'll try it. I'll try it again. Back to Roblox forums. They may have to go back to the forum era of the internet, where it's just disconnected Reddit, where you have to go to very hyper specific forums. You have to keep up 50 billion hyper specific forums everywhere to be able to get anything, to know anything or get anything done. Migrate back to MySpace. We back? I've never used that shit in my entire life. Wait, anybody here feel that? Anybody here feel this? You can't keep telling your friends kill yourself when they compliment your art just because you don't know how to respond. Screeching. Ah, you can't do this to me. No, don't make me have to learn interpersonal skills. No, please. Please. I beg of you. Crying, weeping and moaning and gnashing of teeth.
Where's that big... Oh, shit, this bitch.
Her way to make me feel
over here.
Oh, I'm sorry. I've just never used MySpace before in my life. Is it even still around? Don't call me out like that. Learn how to take a compliment and say thank you. I appreciate you. Say thank you. Like a normal person.
Good shit.
Also, do you guys know Jury from you guys know Jury from Street Fighter 6? Apparently things are on the come up for Street Fighter 6 players because somebody added a new mod that has changed the world. They've added a new mod that has changed the world for the for for non-toe sucking, the very small amount of non-toe sucking Street Fighter 6 players. They've changed the world. They have changed the world, dude. You're right. Is it horny posting? It's the opposite.
Oh god, he's gonna run, I think. Oh, fuck!
A new mod has just dropped for Street Fighter 6, and it's called Jury Jordans. They covered up her grippers. They did it. They finally did it. They removed her grippers, and they gave her
This
shoes,
stun grenade does
specific.
nothing. It does nothing against the bigger dinos.
No.
I can't upgrade it or anything.
They have concealed the grippers.
I can upgrade the
And it's over. Her
grenade, but
dogs
it
are
doesn't
in the
actually
cage.
change the grenade itself. I think.
It's gotta be much more comfortable.
It just
for
like
her. Nah,
adds
she has callous
certain
feet,
passive
and
skills.
her feet get all sweaty.
This thing's
and,
fucking
when she
useless.
puts
There's a
shoes
lot
on,
of
it looks like
useless
she has
fucking
to-
abilities and mods in this
Who
game.
asked for this?
Just
Well,
fucking
this did
trash.
Get 26,000 likes, so it seems like many a
Like,
person.
why?
And I can't lie, it looks badass. No matter what you think about, like, if it was like that important for her to have like a skin where her feet get covered, where her dogs get covered, but like, it does look badass. But it does like also accentuate how massive her feet are, because her feet are huge. She's
Upgrade
wearing, like,
period. What does
size
that mean?
14,
Time
so her
left.
feet are massive.
Protect the area. Team score. What does upgrade mean though?
She wears it so well.
I don't know what
She
that
does.
means.
It looks great. There was a video of this, I think. Is this it? Wait. Wait, this is wait. I
Upgrade
forgot.
stage
This meme
2,
is really
enhancing
good.
dinosaurs. Oh shit.
Come back! No! No! What have you done? Why did you do that?
What have you done? Why did you do that?
Wait! Come back! No! No! What have you done? Why did you do that?
Put me back in. Let me in. No! Stop! Oh,
Get these fucking bitches out of
I'm
here.
not talking about size 14 women's. I think she wears size 12 men's. She has big ass feet.
What the
She got
fuck was
big
that?
feet.
Oh,
And
the
you know what they
frozen
say about
guys,
girls
the
with big
little
feet?
guys.
Big hearts.
Oh god! I got you, bro. I got you. I got you.
They're gone.
How's he dead? Fuck!
Big feet, big soul. She wears clown shoes. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, they fit. It is very good. They look great. If I'm gonna be honest with you. And I think they even look better in her level 3. Look at
Yep.
this. This is what they look like in her level 3. It does look perfect. It is
Oh,
pretty badass.
what
I
the
do
fuck
wish
is
this
this?
was a, like an actual skin variant. I don't care.
God
that much
damn,
about
getting
the feet
knocked out
thing,
everywhere.
But it does look sick.
Thank you, bro.
Oh damn. Jury, calm down. Nah, she's like, I'm gonna put my boot so far up your ass. Oh no. She does have the Bayonetta glasses. She's wearing Jordan 1s and glasses. Who is she? Who is this woman?
Damn, I saw him. He clears them all
Gaze
out with
upon
that
my
counterattack. That
J's.
shit is
Gaze
too
upon
nice.
My uncreased J's. The Jury 1s, you're right. Bro, the perfect woman. She really is the perfect woman.
This meme is very real.
You're right, Marjorie. I think a lot about how she really is the perfect woman.
Oh, god damn. Sorry, guys. My bad. Oh god, don't tell me the game is gonna end early. Come on, just don't do it. Please don't. Let us finish the game.
Oh no, you can't do this to me. She is a gremlin woman as well.
Oh, what? What the fuck happened there?
I want to find this video because somebody did a video of
I just-
her,
what?
level 3 with the Jordans on, and it looks.
I don't
and
know
it
what
was
happened
really
there.
Cool. It did look really good. Not sure if I
Thank
can
you, bro.
find it.
Thank you.
No. I know I liked it. Here, let me see if I can find it really quick for you. And then we can do another seggy. Another schmegment.
Oh, final mission.
Wait
Thank
a second, I
God.
have some Street Fighter racism for you as well.
Fuck the enemy team, man. I don't want to hear
I saw
about
this
them.
the other day. I saw some Street Fighter racism the other day. It was crazy.
Can I see my kills?
They also made a mod.
Combos and kills. Where are my kills? Hey, nowhere. Just points. Just a fucking number.
That made, what's her name? Kimberly. That whitened Kimberly. It took away her African features and gave her like a flatter, more European styled phenotype. And I was like, what the hell? Like it gave her a smaller like forehead and everything, and like a flatter face, and like pushed in her jaw a little bit. It is a really weird, like, it's super weird. They whitened her. Yeah, they made her. They gave her like 3 white. They gave her like 3 white great grand.
Oh Jesus, T-Rex.
Yeah, they gave her. They did Street Fighter.
Oh God damn it!
Wait, okay, so wait. I found the video of.
Oh, what is this? What's going on? So much.
For one. Still looks kind of badass. Still pretty badass. I'm not gonna
Just
lie.
let me die, bro. It's okay. Oh, you're a god.
Kimberly has a child's face with an adult's body. I'm pretty sure she just has like, a pouty mouth, and she has like she has more like African features. I wouldn't say it's a child's face. She just has more African features.
T-Rex, where the fuck is he
Place
going?
in Africa, but it's definitely more African features.
Come on, bro. Where you at?
She's got that like African forehead. Her and I forget her. What's the other like black or like dark skinned character's name with the little
Good shit.
Native American? Not DJ, no. Not DJ. Her thing is wind and stuff like that with the hawk. I forget her name. Is it Lily? Lily. Yeah, she also has like African.
Oh,
she's
double.
also got that African forehead.
That was cool.
What's that supposed to mean? You know, y'all got that African forehead. Like, let's be honest. Let's be honest with ourselves, okay? And yeah, they took it away. They de-Africanized her. It's crazy. Yeah, she's just a little baby faced. She's a little baby faced. Like, sure, I guess, but I think it's the forehead that does it really. But anyways.
Oh
yeah, like,
shit. Oh! Too many dinos! Oh shit, he ate me. Fuck.
I can't lie. It looks really good. I can't lie. It looks great. I think the Jury Jordans look great. I think Jury Jordans looks really good. I can't lie.
I'm coming back, team.
They should be adding squeaking. She needs black Air Forces. That would go crazy too. That felt good, didn't it?
I got you, bro. I got this.
I mean, it's pretty badass. I can't lie. It's pretty badass. I can't lie. Goosh. It looks good. It does look sick. Listen, even the filthiest toe fiends have got to, they gotta understand. Even they get it that it looks good. It does. Her and
Dumbass.
Jordan goes
Got you,
crazy.
bitch.
The fashion's out of this world. And the kick at the end.
Oh, he's gonna kill me!
This is all soul. They look great. They look great. I mean, look at that. Look at that. They look great. What can I say?
Damn, that was clutch by me.
Japan tries to be like.
No, that's what I get.
Community. Not this time. Not this time. Not today. Did I put this in my bookmarks? I did not put it in my bookmarks.
Thank you, bitch.
I know it's in my likes though.
Good shit. Came in with a counter attack. Perfect timing.
What's that supposed to mean? Here, let me see.
We're a whole round behind. Good. Nice. Nice. We don't
Nice.
get to do the
Where
last
did I put this?
really fun round where we get the
That's
most points,
crazy.
kill the
That's
most
crazy.
raptors. Thank God. It's such a fun game mode.
They're
Fuck.
like, there's something wrong with this black character. Let me fix up her facial
Fuck,
features.
man.
Oh, and they like
I'm gonna eat lunch and play Remnant 2 later. I gotta wait for more content for this game.
No, I can't find it. No.
Ezekiel. Nice ass, Ezekiel.
Oh no.
Combos and kills right there. Damage dealt to large dinosaurs. Yeah, that was my specialty. Marsan did 80k damage blocked. Holy shit.
The Cockinator! Yeah, here it is. Look. I found it. I found it. Look, here it is. They look they Oh no.
No, Kimberly
They
face
gave
mod.
her like 5 white ancestors. Look at that. That is crazy.
Oh no!
The only good mod I've seen is the one that gives Jerry Jordans. That's true.
I forgot who that is. Daffy Duck? Not the Daffy Duck.
The after is literally how current black women look. Stop! Low tier god, bro. What are you saying? You like a lot of black Americans looked like that for very specific reasons. But like there are a lot of people in like with like more African features and like actually in closer African descent.
Yeah.
That don't actually.
That's
You
just
can-
the
you can
kawaii
tell, like,
Asian
yeah.
mod. Or like the mixed white mod.
There's a reason why we're called African diaspora. There's a reason. Oh man. It's crazy. Silence.
Yeah, the left one's mad sexy. The right one is just like fucking Hollywood
looks
shit.
Like an actual looks at like how some actual black women look and go, that's not how black people look.
Yeah. Yeah. What are you talking about? I don't even recognize the one on the left. Who is that? The alien.
I think both are fine.
Yeah.
But I think they're obviously going for a more
It's not worth
specific-
playing much
they're
right
going
now.
for a
We have
specific type of
just
look.
one game
With
mode.
Kimberly,
I've done
and it just
120
would be like,
battles, played
well, she
43
looks way
hours.
better here. She doesn't look like a real. Doesn't look like a real.
I think I'm
black-
good
a
right
real black
now.
Person doesn't look like that. Nah.
Gotta
They
kill
do.
100,000
There are many
dinos,
black
but
people who look like that.
whatever.
She looks
So
like
it's
she could
such
be
a
one of my cousins. Right? Right? She's got that African forehead. She does. And she, yeah. Yeah. All this